Hi, thank you for joining me. My name is Marc Harwell, and you are attending Mediation Meditations. And I'll call the first episode of Mediation Meditations Clubbing the Seal. And Clubbing the Seal is primarily an episode that deals with cases in the extreme. It also has relevance within the extremes, so don't tune out. But if you have a case where truly have a strong case as a plaintiff or as a defendant, or you're representing a party that truly is weak, that weak party has made bad decisions, exercised really poor judgment, is just obstinate by nature perhaps. Or if you're the strong party because you're so strong, and maybe because you were disadvantaged by a dumbass, you take a tone, and it's understandable tone. You're arrogant about your opportunity for success. You're obstinate because you know you're going to win. Or you just want to fight and make someone pay for what they did to you or your company. All understandable emotions. But what does that do? What is your attitude as the strong party? What does it do? And why did I call this clubbing a seal? Because I feel like when you are strong and you are angry because you were wronged, it sometimes feels like you might be clubbing a seal. The seal is that weaker party that exercises bad judgment, poor decision-making skills, or just a history of just bad calls. So what does that strong position oftentimes sound like? Well, to me, it sounds a tremendous amount like yelling. You yell in your complaint or in your answer. You yell in your responses to written discovery. You yell in your opening statement. And what does the weaker party do? I mean, when you're yelling, have you ever experienced a weaker party simply roll over and accept the clubbing? Just quit, say, you win, I'm done. Does it ever happen? Maybe once in a million, a dumber chance, once in a million times, but that's not a good chance. That's not a good percentage for you. So how does a mediation begin? Well, we separate the parties. Why do we separate the parties? Well, we separate the parties because y'all are yelling, or the seal is just running away, fighting for its life, which means scrambling away. So you have to get separated. You don't communicate. You only communicate through the mediator. And then how does it start after you've separated from one another? Well, in my experience, it oftentimes is just simply another expression of yelling or avoidance. You yell with a really high demand. You avoid with a really low number that makes no sense in the scheme of things. And so I'll tell you a story. I recently had a mediation with two incredibly gifted, fierce advocates. They are committed to zealously representing the interests of their clients, both the plaintiff and the defendant. And frankly, the strong party was understandably upset and took an attitude at the start of the mediation, wanting me to present a demand that was several $100,000 higher than the last pre-mediation demand. Several $100,000 higher. I said, I get your anger and your frustration, and I get the fact that you want to make a statement, but you're here at mediation, and in order for this to have any chance of success, after you've been yelling at this party now for over a year and a half, you're going to have to do something that just presents some indication that you have some willingness to compromise. Otherwise, we're simply wasting our time today. Will you let me go into the other room and present this number as an exposure number? And will you give me a demand number that just indicates some willingness to compromise today? Fortunately, this very good attorney listened to me, and I don't take credit for that. I take credit for the attorney listening and engaging And I took a number in and I explained the exposure number in the way that the attorney wanted me to explain it, but also gave a demand number. And though that demand number was met with a lot of frustration and angst in the other room, the day started off a lot better than it was going to start off if we started off several $100,000 higher than that frustration number, right? So what is my message for you today? My humble message to you today is, if you're the strong party at mediation, it's confidential, you have nothing to lose, put your club down, stop yelling for one day and listen. And if you're the weaker party, stop arguing inane arguments that aren't going to carry the day. They're just not. An apology might do you a lot better if you've really screwed up. Just might. You've got nothing to lose, right? It's confidential.